You are listening to the Retina UK Talking Tech Peer Support Group meeting recorded Tuesday, 23rd of January 2024.
Hello, everybody, and a very good evening and a happy new year to you all. Welcome to our first Talking Tech Peer Support Group from Retina UK of 2024. I hope you're all doing well and keeping safe. My name is Mark Baxter. I am the Information and Support Coordinator for Retina UK. I'm also living with the inherited Retinal RP and registered blind. To my left, I have Caroline, who's going to be helping me on the comms this evening. Caroline is my wife and my support worker, so she will be responding to any questions that come through the comment box. And also, please feel free to share anything, any links or any websites in the comments box, because as this is being recorded, we will pick this up and we will put anything into the follow-up email, which will be going out with the recording in a few days. So this meeting is going to be about what you guys have got in the way of new technology, and also a sneak peek of what technology is coming our way for 2024. And I'm going to kick off the meeting with two pieces of technology which I'm very excited about. The first of which is anyone that loves their Samsung phones, is the new unveiled S24 series. It comes in at 6.2, then the S24 Plus is at 6.7, and then you've got the Ultra, which is a whopping 6.8-inch screen. I went out today, and because I'm interested in purchasing one of these myself, and so is Caroline, and we went out for a bit of a hands-on to see how they work. My first impressions are very impressive. I did listen to the Galaxy Unpacked 2024, where they were unveiling a few of the main specs and features of this phone, and I will be putting that YouTube link into the follow-up email as well. So if anybody wants to have a listen to that, it's very informative, and some of the new features of the S24 blew me away. So there are a few features in there that, again, that I found out today. One of them is Bixby Vision. Now, if anybody's not familiar with Bixby, it is Samsung's answer to Siri on the iPhone. It's an assistant, and they seem to have ramped up. And there's something Bixby Vision, which kind of combines Be My Eyes with Google's Lookout and also Google's Read Aloud. And it will allow you to just point at anything, take a photograph, and it will read it out to you, which is something that the Samsung phone has massively waiting for to rival the iPhone. And some of the other features as well. Not only is it some impressive displays, but it's also got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 G3 processor, which is one of the beefiest processors that Samsung used to date. Won't go into too much about the camera and also the video. I will share something with you at the meeting, which I don't want to play. The other item that I would like to share with you, which will be coming out later this year, is the Vision Pro. Now, if not anybody knows what this is, it's a new wearable glasses that Apple is developing. And again, from an Apple point of view, they seem extremely impressive. It's not so much from what you can see through these glasses. It's the AI technology they are using, and the 3D mapping technology that they have on these on the sensors and the cameras for these glasses. They're lightweight, they're made of aluminium, and one single plastic which makes up the lenses. They're very durable and they're very light. But it's the 3D mapping technology which I think will be a game changer for anyone that needs to know where they are, who they are looking at, and what are in a room and around. So for navigation and mobility, I think they are going to be a massive game changer. Speaking of AI, Samsung have launched Galaxy AI, which is a new intuitive AI feature which will help anyone that uses an Android phone, specifically Samsung's. It will just help you communicate better. It will help you navigate better, and I think it's just going to make the phone even more interactive and innovative to anyone that wants to connect and navigate. So at the moment, you can pre-order the Samsung phone. The Apple Vision Pros is not going to be out until later this year. I still need to find out a bit more about pricing, but the Samsung is out now. You can order from Samsung.com, and if you place an order within the next 48 hours, they have an item code where you can put up a Samsung Galaxy for free if you do purchase. And Caroline's going to be dropping that batch code into the comments box now. So if anybody is interested in purchasing that phone outright, there are a few extra free features that you can actually get with it. So they're just a couple of things that I want to talk about in regards to technology. The other things that I would like to talk about in regards to AI, following on from our last two meetings. And Harry, thanks very much to Harry. He sent me a really interesting article in regards to collaborations between the consumer giant Unilever and also Be My Eyes. They're teaming up together to make shopping experiences even more interactive, and it means that you search for products using Be My Eyes, and it will phone in from over a meter away, finding any Unilever product, and they specify things like women's packaging, which will also include things like recipes, how to cook, cooking instructions, as well as some of the laundry products. Well, they're teaming up with a vision specialist called, which are creating AQR codes, which will be going on their packaging to help people locate things within a supermarket if you are visually impaired. And it's something very similar that Procter and Gamble have done with NaviLens, which we have spoken about in previous meetings. They're just a couple of articles that I just wanted to share with you, and that article I will put follow up as well. So have a listen. Oh, it was fantastic, and it's going to make things more for us when we're doing our shopping. Keeping on the topic of Be My Eyes, Be My AI, for anyone that has an Android phone, it is now on Android, and the Be My AI app section is now available. I still believe in beta format. I've had a bit of a play around, and I was very impressed with the accuracy, very similar to what we've experienced on the iPhone. And also, Be My Eyes also announced Be My Eyes Community. So if you're a little bit wary or unsure about dialing to a volunteer to help, pick out clothes, read your correspondence, etc., you can now pick 20 of your nearest and dearest colleagues, family, friends, and it will actually out the first one available. So it makes things a little bit more private, and you can then that into rather than dialing into one of the many millions of volunteers around the world. So they're just a couple of things that I just wanted to share with you off the bat. And now I'm going to hand over to you guys. If anybody has any tech that they have received over Christmas, any tech that you've received in the sales, please feel free to share. And we'll go over to Caroline to see whether we've had any messages or any hands up. Hi, Edward. Welcome, and thanks very much for joining us.
Hi, thanks, Mark. Lovely to join you for the first time. I'll make the most of it. Try not to go on as much as I normally do hereafter. So I just wanted to mention where because they're very expensive, aren't they, compared to a lot of other kit. But that's the way of it. So I decided to just try some out a couple of months ago, and I nearly bought one. And I hate spending money, so I was quite impressed with the A-Sight VR. What do you call them? Just a wearable, isn't it? Like a headset. It's got a Xiaomi phone in from a few years ago, and I find it went up to 16 times magnification, and that helped me. Macular degeneration. My central vision is, there's a big loss there, but right in the middle. So I'm lucky in having peripheral vision to use. So it's not for everybody, obviously. But I was surprised how well it worked, and I nearly spent the money. So I would say that's interesting, and I'd love to know if anybody else has got other comments about other wearables. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much for that tech advice. And what we'll do, is we will put that in our follow-up. Thanks very much.
Someone's asked, Edward, did you test the glasses out in Oxford?
Edward, did you test those glasses out in Oxford?
No, I didn't. Good question. I tried out a vision aid salesman came and just brought a few models to my home, and I'm up in Cumbria. Sorry, I didn't say I'm in West Cumbria, so all these things are a long way from me, so it was exciting to have electricity brought into the house and that sort of thing. So I tried out the Oxite specs, and they were cheaper but of a lower specification than the what were they called, the other ones, like the A-Sight VR, that I found preferable. I also tried out, just while I'm rattling on about it, the Iris Vision. I think it was the Inspire model. It's from a couple of years ago, and I believe Iris Vision are due to bring out another model soon. So as usual, I was thinking, next year's model will be 8 times as good, or the Vision Pro will be 5 bob and fantastic. So no, it won't, because it's an Apple, won't it? But hang on. So I did try the Oxite ones out, but I happened not to go to Oxford. Sadly, Oxite's gone, hasn't it, as a supplier? They went bust a few months ago, I believe. Yeah, so that's no longer a lower cost option for some people.
No. Is anybody using Orcams now?
Okay. Hi, Gaynor. Thanks very much. Is anybody using the new Orcams? I know that they are releasing some new ones at the moment. I still believe they are actually clipped to the side of the glasses. Is anyone using an Orcam at the moment? Rita? I can definitely get you some reviews on some of what Orcam are actually developing at the moment for 2024, whether they are releasing new models and new types of wearable, whether it's a pendant. I do know that they have the pen, and whether they are still going with the
original ones. We've got 2 of the original ones, one with the real original with the cable coming down, and then the later model, but they both my 2 adults here have stopped using them.
That because they're not supported anymore.
I guess that's it. Yeah, because they've moved on, haven't they, with the technology now?
Yeah, I think they try to bring out a new model. It's either every year or at least every 18 months. So yeah, I can definitely look into Orcam and see what is on the pipeline for 2024, and how best you can purchase them, whether they've got any schemes or anything like that. So I can look into that for you. It's not a problem.
Well, these were supplied by Access to Work initially, but I'm not sure they don't seem to be recommending that now. They seem to be recommending the use of the phone in retail. And that, of course, can only be used if you've got good signal in the stores, which we haven't here.
Yeah, no, I'll find out from Access to Work, why. Because at the end of the day, if you're using something that you need for your workplace, and the Orcam is the device that is best suited, Access to Work should be able to help support that particular piece of technology. And if you are using technology now that's out of date, I know in one of my previous roles, I had a magnifier that wasn't HD and I had to get a new one. So again, I went through Access to Work and I got them to replace the old or new. So it really should work in the same respect. So it might be worth you speaking to Access to Work and say that I can't use this device anymore because it's out of date and it's not supported. You know, how do I go about getting an updated model, and also speak to your employer as well to see if they can actually help with the financial cost if Access to Work won't pay for it. Yeah. So it's worth actually just asking a few questions to Access to Work to see what kind of response you get.
Would it also, this is Jonathan, would it not also be worth asking Access to Work or trying yourself a few of the other things such as Envision glasses, because whether it's Allcam or Envision, you know, they've all got features, and depending on what your work really is, you might find something that's even more productive for the person who's using them.
That's a good, very, very good point. Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, there are other wearables about, you know, and they might be more suited. The best thing to do is we will be posting out 2024's Site Village dates. So, you know, if you can get to the Site Village, it is an ideal place for you to get hands-on with the newest and latest technology from all over the UK to see what best suits you. And also you can get in touch with the likes of Sight and Sound that will do a home visit for you, you know, with all sorts of different technology where you go around the home or out and about to see what works best for you. We've got Gordon and Edward. So Gordon first and then Edward after.
Okay, yeah, it's just about the Orcam. I've got one of the early ones as well. I must say that it is much better than a phone for reading documents. You can read books with it as well. It's significantly better using the phone. And of course, it keeps your hands free. You don't have to hold the phone. But the lighting has to be good. And if the lighting's not great, then the performance definitely drops off on the original Orcams. I don't know what the new ones are like, but that's been my experience, that you really have to have good lighting for them to work best.
Thanks very much for that. That's brilliant. Edward?
Yeah, thanks again, Mark. I've got a brother who's an extremely demanding customer in all aspects of his life. And he's just, you know, he's not used to MD. I've had mine for years. He's just developed it in his 80s, hasn't adapted very well. It is only MD, but he's found other equipment very unhelpful, low vision aids, you know, that he's bought. He just picked up an Allcam Read. I persuaded him to look at a month or two ago because I'm aware of them, and he's been very pleased. So that's a recent model, I think, you know, probably a 22, 23 model, and he just picked it up, but he's had a big month out of it. His particular use is he trades old books, and they're large formats, you know, A4, A3 type sizes, and he likes the fact the Orcam Read can cope with that. So not a workplace arrangement that is a, but he's say he would definitely criticize it if it wasn't working for him. But that comment about light levels is interesting, so I'll have a chat with him how he finds it at lower light levels. Thanks, Mark.
No worries. Thanks very much. Have we got any more hands up? No, any?
No, Tracy's just said like the sound of the Site Village tech.
Yeah, we will put the date out. I do know that they are going to be in, where did they say? So we're going to be, it's going to be London in November. The first one is going to be York. It was up north.
It was my Blackpool.
Blackpool, that was it. There's what they're going to be doing. One in Blackpool, which is new. They're going to do one in Birmingham, one in London, and I'm trying to remember. The Birmingham's the biggest. That's the one I think it's over a couple of days. And I'm trying to think where the other one. They usually do 4 every year, but Blackpool's a new one. So it's usually either Leeds or Hull. They did Hull a couple of years ago. We went to Cardiff. I don't think they're doing Cardiff this year. But we will put, I'll make sure I've got the dates and they will go in the follow-up email as well. So you can save the date to see which one is you, but they are definitely recommended. They do all sorts of tech, including canes as well, and also eyewear, sunglasses, etc. So it's definitely worth checking it out if you can make it.
Yes. So Northwest is Winter Gardens Blackpool, which is Tuesday 9th of April. The central one is the East Side Rooms in Birmingham, which is Monday 8th and Tuesday 9th of July. Then the Northeast one's the Royal Armouries in Leeds, which is Wednesday 25th of September. And the Southeast one's at Kensington Town Hall again in London on Tuesday 5th of November.
We'll make sure that those that information goes in the follow-up email so you can save the date. Has anyone got any other questions? Or the other piece of technology that I received over Christmas through work, actually, we mentioned in one of the meetings last year about the AirBuds and the Samsung Galaxy Pro Buds. They're good if you can get them as an add-on or a free feature with a new handset, but obviously they can be quite pricey. When you find them outright, you're looking at sort of £200 plus. If you like the feel of this type of headphone or noise-cancelling headphones, I picked up some for £60 by a company called Jabra. And they're really good, actually. Like I say, they're a fraction of the cost, and they're good everyday headphones. You would still need to get the little strap that actually together, because if one falls out, it will fall on the floor. So it's definitely advisable going onto Amazon and getting one of those sort of straps together. But in terms of sound quality, they are really good. They fit quite nicely in the ears. You can use one or the other, or both independently, which I find really good, because sometimes I've actually got headsets on, one for a work phone, one for a private phone. So it does work that they do work independently from each other, and they do come in a nice little magnetic box, which you can just attach the charger to, and it charges them up. Probably very similar to the mainstream brand headphones, but like I say, if you are under a budget and you just want to get yourself a cheap pair for £60, I think that was a real bargain. And I'll put the link in the follow-up email for those as well. If anybody wants to try them out or are just looking for a new pair of headphones. Have we got any other? Does anybody have any tech questions? Anybody frustrated with any technology that they're using at the moment? I do know there are a few technical issues. Have you got a question?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's myself or not. I don't know what happened halfway through the call, because the Zoom layout has completely changed. So I now can't comment after I commented about 20 minutes ago. So I'm not sure what's going on. I think, yeah, I don't know. And I now have a big circle in the middle of my phone saying tap to speak. So I have no idea. I don't have the wee icons along the bottom. This happened the last time I used Zoom as well, but I don't know what I've done. I have moved from Samsung to Apple last year, so it was very interesting listening to what you were saying about the Samsung phone. I suppose I was using a very old Samsung phone, but I have to say I'm finding Apple very, very accessible. But just like the other gentleman that was saying earlier, that keeps doing updates and you just don't know what it's going to throw at you next. It's just going to be a bit weird. I am definitely finding if stuff isn't working, powering the phone off and switching it back on again does seem to generally work, but I am finding that type of thing frustrating. There's a few little bits with Apple that are good compared with Samsung, but actually some bits with Samsung. What I do like about Samsung is when you call up a keyboard, it has the numbers along the top. You don't have to keep toggling between numbers and letters. I do find that really, really frustrating. And the other thing is, like if you're typing your email address in on Samsung, it does protective, so you can see at the top it starts typing your email, and you can just click on it and it adds it. I have not found that feature yet on Apple, so if anybody can tell me how to do that, that's my two main bugbears I have with Apple, but everything else I find very, very useful.
Thanks very much for that information. I have again, I use both Apple and Samsung phones, and there was one feature that is on the Samsung, and again, if anybody can help me with this one, it's more for dexterity, but I find it for a visually impaired person. Trying to tap on to end and start a call quite frustrating, especially now that they've changed the background color from black to a really pale grey, so I can't find where the buttons are. On the Samsung, you can use the volume rocker to answer a call, and you can use the power button to end the call. We went all the way through the iPhone, and I've got the iPhone 13 Pro, to see whether the iPhone has an equivalent to that, and we couldn't find it anywhere. So if anybody does use this feature on an iPhone, then please feel free to share this information with me, and I will share it with the rest of the group. I find it so easy, especially when you're out and about, or you're out somewhere where it's bright, for example, and you just need to answer your phone. You can just do it with the ease of a button.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody knows that answer, then yes, please feel free.
Sorry, Marcus, Gordon here. Sorry to interrupt, but does the two-finger double tap not answer a call?
No, we did look at that, and the double tap and triple tap feature wasn't one of the pre-defined list of things that you could actually do. That was one of the things we did actually go into, but we could look in it again. But no, we find that. I was going to go to the Apple shop this afternoon, but I left my iPhone at home to see whether they could actually help me with it. But if anyone else has experienced this problem, your advice would be much appreciated.
Mark, have you got voiceover switched on?
No, I don't.
Well, you see, the double tap will only work, I believe, if you've got voiceover running.
Yes, sorry, you're quite right.
No, I use double tap to activate the speech feature. So I don't use voiceover because I don't quite need that yet. But when I'm listening to a long email or a web page, for example, I've got the double tap feature to activate speech, and that works absolutely brilliant without voiceover on. So, but it's just that. So that is one feature that I don't know whether the iPhone, but if it does, I've yet to find it. It might be somewhere hidden.
Yeah, I deliberately bought an iPhone SE to have the home button, and I wrongly assumed it worked the same as the Samsung, that you just press the home button like I did on my Samsung and it answered the call. But just what you're saying, it doesn't. It took me a long time to actually familiarise myself with actually making a call with Apple, because if you hover over something and accidentally tap it in your favourites under phone, it's dialing somebody before you know it. And that did take me quite a long time to actually get used to, where Samsung has so many safeguards in place. You click on the person's name, then you have to click on calls. So you've got kind of two steps there. But that did take me a bit of getting used to with Apple. So I've watched who I've put in my favourites just for that reason.
It's just a one tap to answer a call on an iPhone, whereas you usually have to swipe left or right, either if you want to message or whether you want to engage a call. It's strange that you have to swipe twice to delete an email on an iPhone, but you don't swipe to answer, to activate a call. It just happens. So and it's very sensitive to screen on an iPhone. I'm always catching a number and then having to come off of it, and sometimes now I can't see the button to
Yeah.
end the call. I'm starting a FaceTime call with someone as well because they've changed the colour of the background. So hopefully, as Scott mentioned at the very beginning, if they do launch another update, I think it's like they're up to 17.3 now. It might fix some of these accessibility glitches, which obviously are causing us all a few headaches and issues.
Yeah.
And I will say, Mark, sorry, Gordon, I'll just say quickly, if you are having a problem with stuff like this, do phone the accessibility line and report your problem. They might be able to fix it right at the time, but if you report it, then they can work on fixing these glitches in 17.3. Because as I think it was Gordon that corrected through the rotor for me my double swipe issue. If it's not reported, which Gordon reported obviously, and then I reported it, and a gentleman in Vancouver, they don't know. So please do pick up the phone them. They might have the fix for it right then, but if not, it'll be reported so they can work on fixing it.
Brilliant. If you've
Sorry,
got
Gordon, go ahead.
sorry, Scott, if you've got that number, that would be very, very much appreciated to share, and I'll actually put that in our follow-up email as well.
Okay.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gainer's got a hand up,
Oh,
and then we've got a couple of messages in the
right. So we've
well.
got Gainer's got a hand up. You've got a question?
Mark, while you're waiting for that number that Scott's going to share with you, it's absolutely invaluable because it's one of the few Apple services. It's open about 363 days a year, 24 hours a day.
Wow. Excellent.
Yeah.
No, I know my brother's actually used it, so.
Yeah. And
I mean, it really is first class.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
A lot of times for us, Mark, sorry, Harry, when we're calling, you're best, because we're 5 hours ahead of the US where the call goes through to. You'll get someone, if you phone in the morning, you'll get an open line. You won't have to wait for anyone. I mean, you don't usually have to wait anyway, but because of the time difference, we're ahead. We get them in the early morning, so they're not taking North American calls at that particular time.
Excellent.
So
no, that's brilliant. Thanks very much. We'll find the opening times and everything like that. Obviously, if
it's 24 hours a day.
Excellent.
It's 24/7. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. Gainer, are you there?
I think she's put her hand down now.
Oh, she put her hand down, and we've got two messages in the.
She's sorry, Gainer's message say sorry, can't unmute. Lucy uses her power button on her iPhone to finish a call.
Okay, excellent.
I think we need to ring the accessibility.
Yeah.
And also Tracy said I think Tracy would like to speak, but she didn't raise her hand.
Oh, okay, no. Hi Tracy. Have you got a question? She needs to unmute. But on to
my apologies. My apologies. Harry did say it's 24/7, that accessibility line.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah, good.
Hooray! I was quite impressed with that. I just wanted to talk to you about the problems that some of you have had with your iPhones. I too have had the same problem, and I did report it, as the other two gentlemen were talking about. And actually, they couldn't resolve the problem. And some of the problems were a bit like some of the people here have been talking about, how when you try and use your two fingers swipe down to have the reader read the whole page to you, wasn't working. Or if you were trying to double tap a number, for example, it would accidentally put in the wrong number if you didn't click exactly on the number. So in the end, they told me to go to my Apple store in Cabot Circus, Bristol, who are absolutely excellent, by the way. Their visually impaired department are really good. And actually, as it turned out, what they had to do is after the iPhone 17.4 software update, they said that my iPhone had a bug in it. And so they actually had to, what was it called? Reset my iPhone completely, which I was really nervous about because I knew it had all my voiceover gestures on there and all my settings. But anyway, they did it for me, got it all back to the beginning, and it worked absolutely perfectly. So actually, the problem that I had with my iPhone was after the update of 17.4, a bug got into my voiceover technology and it made it not work correctly, including answering calls. I'd try and answer a call with either the double tap or the slide to answer or the double tap side button. And each time it was like cancelling the call. So it was a big problem. And they sorted it by resetting my phone for me and getting rid of the bug.
That's good advice. So you know, if you need hands-on, if you've got an iPhone shop, Apple shop near to you, then you know, maybe take your phone and let one of the geniuses have a little look at it. I know a lot of people don't want to go to the drastic steps of completely resetting a phone. You know, especially means having to back everything up to the iCloud. And then starting from scratch again. It's one of the things that I would dread to have to do, and I've had to do it a couple of times on my Samsung when it wasn't working. But I suppose that is the only option. But speak to a genius or someone on helpline first.
Yeah, and the other thing that I just wanted to mention was about the two apps. One is called Be My Eyes, and the other one is called Seeing AI. Now, if you try to just say you're given a WhatsApp message with a photograph in it, and you want to know what that photograph says, you can click on share the photograph and then scroll down. If you've got Be My Eyes and Seeing AI app on your phone, you can then share it to either describe using Be My Eyes or recognize with Be My AI. So there's two different kinds of getting a photograph or a leaflet or a Facebook post or a Twitter post. If you can't see what it says or looks like, either one will describe it to you. Now, the main difference is if you do describe using Be My Eyes, it will describe, like you're looking at a leaflet, you're looking at a Facebook post, etc. So it will describe the whole thing. Whereas if you use Be My
Seeing AI,
it will say describe, it will say recognize using, recognize with Seeing AI, that's it. Recognize with Seeing AI. So the difference is if you use the Seeing AI app to recognize a photograph or leaflet, it will tell you word for word what's on there. Whereas if you use recognize with Be My Eyes, the difference is that will describe what you're looking at. So it just says you're looking at a photograph, it's a Facebook post, etc. So there's two main differences. So I personally, as somebody who cannot see both, either, tend to use both.
No,
so I have one that says you're looking at a Facebook post, then the other one will say it tells you the time that this meeting starts. Where the other one might not tell you the time.
Yeah, no,
can I add?
Yeah,
Go
certainly.
ahead.
No, certainly.
Can I add to that though? In the Be My Eyes, you can then at the bottom ask it or send it a message and saying, read the text to me, and it will actually read the text to you. So you can use it the same way you're using Seeing AI. So and it will the Be My I use both as well because I don't see it all, and I use them for different reasons. I like them for different reasons, but the Be My AI will, if you say you can ask it questions, not just on text. You can ask it, oh, please describe what the woman is wearing in the photo, if it hasn't already. Or so there's many things you can ask it. It sometimes will come back and say, I cannot answer how old the woman is. I have asked how old my wife is, and because it described her as being 40 once, took 16 years off her age, and she was all cheery about it. So I went back and said, "Are you sure about that?" And then so you can ask it. I think it's send a message is what it might ask,
okay.
but that's there, so it will read the text to you as well. It's kind of a cool, really cool feature of it. So it even does
I like
handwriting.
both. I actually like both. I actually like on
so do I.
Be My Eyes. I actually like the live where you can call someone and they will talk to you.
Yeah.
And I've used them quite a lot actually. If I'm making like a casserole or something, and I need to know how to cook something, or if something's in date, like I wasn't sure if the feta cheese I was using was in date. So I find it very useful.
I had a young lady in Devon. I didn't mark my frozen chicken, and I wanted thighs as opposed to breasts, and she was able to help me out with the bone-in thighs. So no, it is fantastic. Even both of them will now handwriting from a great uncle who wrote a letter from Canada back to Wales in World War I, deciphered his handwriting. Not all of it, but you could fill in most of it. And my grandmother's cookbooks, it'll read that now, where you can. They're fantastic.
They're both really good apps. And just to add around briefly, because we've got Gordon and Stuart's got a question as well. Just want to quickly add, the Be My AI, after you've had it take a photograph, you can actually use the 2-finger swipe down, or if you've got it set up like I have, the double tap, and it will actually read out on the screen beautifully what has been described. So that speech function, if you don't use the full voiceover, is really, really good. And it also works to some extent if you're using a Samsung phone, and I think Google Read Aloud will actually read it out as well. But with Google Read Aloud, it takes a snapshot and it will only read out what it can see on the screen, whereas the iPhone speech will read everything on the screen, even if it's not actually on the screen. It's a really intuitive. So we're just going to it's 8:05, and I just wanted to see, Gordon's got his hand up, so I just want to. Hi, Gordon.
Hi. So back to the topic of making and answering phone calls. I must admit, if I'm making a phone call, I tend to use Siri, and I'll just I have an iPhone 13, so I'll just press the side button and hold it to invoke, so then just say call so and so mobile, and it'll just do it. It saves this bother. I know there are some issues with focus if you're going through your contacts and so on, or your phone list. It's much more reliable just to use Siri to make the call. You don't have to open anything; you just press the button. I did hear somebody earlier on saying you can end the call by pressing the side button as well, the power button. Now, I believe there's a difference depending on whether your phone is locked or unlocked when you do that. I can't remember what the difference is. One of them certainly works. You just press the side button and it ends the call. But the other one, it does something a little bit different. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Does that depend on what model iPhone you've got as well? That was what I was going to ask.
Well, not with the home button, with the side button.
The
Is
side
side
button, yeah, the side
Yeah.
button.
Press side button should
what?
end the call. I think I've never tried this. If you press and hold the side button to invoke Siri again, you can just say Siri end call. I think.
Yes, you can, Gordon.
Yeah, so you don't need to worry about the how do I hang up and how do I start the call. I cheat a bit with this because I'm a big fan of Bluetooth sunglasses, and all I need to do to end the call is just press the button on the glasses and it just kills it. But as I say, the side button and Siri, very useful for calls, making or receiving.
Can I jump in there? Brilliant. I would agree with Gordon. I'm not a 13 user. Sorry, it's Harry speaking. I use an SE 2022, and I don't have sunglasses, but I do have a set of AirPods Pro. And one of the most annoying glitches that's come out of the recent updates is you used to be able to end a call by just squeezing the AirPod. That no longer works. You now have to do a double tap on the screen. I will, though, try Gordon's suggestion of just doing the power button, because the SE 2022 also has a power button, so that could be a useful thing. I have reported that to Apple, and they have said that they're aware of it, but it's fiercely annoying. But like Gordon, I would just, if I'm wearing the AirPods, I'll just say, "Hey Siri, call."
Yeah, that's how I start a call. Yeah, that's how I start a call. We've got Stuart. And before we actually go, Stuart's got an interesting question. He just would like to know, does anybody use screen reader? And has anybody got any good any good suggestions? Whether this is an app or whether it isn't actually. Stuart, is this a desktop screen reader or is it a mobile handheld one that you're interested in?
Desktop. For my PC or my laptop. I've been trialing Supernova from Dolphin, and I just can't get on with it. So at the moment, I've reverted back to Narrator from Microsoft, which is fine, but it's not that accessible. And I'm still partially sighted, so I also use magnification, and the magnifier from Microsoft is on the keyboard, not on the mouse. So that's a bit awkward as well when you're browsing websites.
What are the problems you're facing with accessibility with Narrator? Because they've now aligned themselves very closely with what would be called the leader in the field, which is JAWS. But JAWS is very expensive, and a lot of the keystrokes are the same, I'm told. I use JAWS, and that's, but it is very expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Harry, it's mainly a case of time to actually get my my head into using all the different strokes and stuff. But I've been using Supernova, and it has something called the dolphin cursor, which just keeps turning itself on and off seemingly at random. I'm sure it's not at random, but it makes it very hard, because then it keeps talking. It was like I was using Narrator just now on a website to try and make a booking change for a flight, and it gives you sort of 3 or 4 lines of spiel before it actually tells you what you're trying to read. So it'll give you level 2 heading, maybe repeat the key word for the page, and then it will tell you the word that you're looking for. But that could just be a badly designed website.
Or you may find there's a tutorial which will allow you to reduce the amount of verbosity that you're getting feedback from through Narrator. I wouldn't know enough about Narrator.
I've tried that on the Supernova, but I haven't tried that on. I haven't looked at that on Narrator yet.
Have you tried NVDA?
Yeah.
I've not used it myself, but I hear a lot of people say very good things about it, and it's free.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I did try it years ago.
Yeah, I used that quite a few years ago, and I should probably restart that one. And as you say, it is free, which is an advantage.
But they will now have also aligned themselves with JAWS and Narrator, and a lot of them are trying to do that. So a lot of the keystrokes, it's going to be a learning curve.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the advantage. So if it's all on the keyboard, then life's a bit easier. The challenge with using some of them is it's a constant change from mouse to keyboard. So I guess it's working out how you navigate.
I don't even have a keyboard plugged in. Don't even have one plugged in.
So you just use the mouse all the time?
No, I don't have a mouse plugged in.
Oh, right. You don't have a mouse plugged in?
No.
Okay. So then
Keyboard only. Keyboard only.
And you can navigate around the websites, what, tabbing and left and right
tabbing, and then all the keystrokes that will help you with the form fields, the list of fields, the list of boxes, text boxes, and all of that.
Okay, it sounds like it's a learning curve, and that was the most frustrating thing with Supernova is they have no training.
Oh, it's a very big learning curve.
It's a long one.
It took me months to get the hang of JAWS, and I don't know. I now use it to do the things I want to do, and anything new comes along, I'm lost.
But they have very good, and they do have very good train. I mean, if you get stuck, you can ring Sight and Sound, and they will help out.
Yes, yeah.
For JAWS.
For JAWS, yeah.
For JAWS, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But it is fiercely expensive. You're talking about licenses of £200-300 every 2 years, pretty much.
Yeah. I believe NVDA have YouTube tutorials.
Yeah, on top of the initial 1,200-1,300 purchase.
Well, I'm certainly paying updates that they're costing me $250 every 18 odd months, I think.
You can if you get it in the sale, which is usually about June, July. I got it last time, got 2 years for 150. Which I thought
you were lucky. You were lucky. I tried that and I didn't get one.
You must have just missed it.
I must have.
Didn't.
But the other thing I would say,
that's all good tips, guys. Thank you very much.
The other thought I would have is I don't know if you use your phone. I find sometimes it's easier to navigate web pages and things on a phone.
Yes, I do, particularly with my limited vision. A bit of magnification on my Samsung is quite good.
I won't speak for them because I don't know Samsung. I'm an Apple fan.
The only annoying thing with the Samsung is they've introduced now the accessibility button, which they conveniently put in the bottom right-hand corner, which is where all the action is anyway. So you have to turn the magnification off to then sort of send messages to then turn it back on to type the next one.
Okay, I'm not going to comment because I know nothing about Samsung, so I'm sorry. Again, I use my iPhone with what's called the screen curtain, so the surface is completely black all the time. It's all done with gestures and voiceover, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, fantastic!
Brilliant. In regards to sort of JAWS and Supernova, I know that you don't get very long on a free trial, so you can't get your head around it in a space of like an hour. I think some of them get before it.
I'm on my 5th 1 month free trial with Supernova. They're very good at giving you a free trial, so they're obviously desperate to sell it.
But if you go to the Sight Village and speak to like Sight and Sound or anyone that are actually selling screen reader software, because you've actually gone to Sight Village, sometimes you may get a percentage discount if you purchase there and then, because you're actually at Sight Village. So that is another good reason to visit Sight Village, because you might get you might have a bargain.
I went to the one in Cardiff, and they did give me quite a good price. Particularly, it was if I traded in my Zoom text, then I got an extra 20% off buying Supernova.
Have we got any final questions or anything like that?
No, people just.
Mark, can I make a comment?
Go on then, Scott. Go for it, and I'll wrap up. You got a comment?
Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't sure if there was a question coming in. So I've just purchased, I didn't purchase them. For those of you that do fly and are lucky enough to fly, if you have air miles or the equivalent of some type of thing like that, check your travel mile shopping cart, so to speak. I just picked up some new AirPod Pros, sound reduction Pros, and 4 air tags with my miles. So it saved me a ton of cash, and it's just by using our credit card, which we use anyway. So it pays to pay attention every once in a while. Different speakers, etc., go on sale. So, and the other one was I'm a Soundscape user, but I'm currently trying out. Oh God, I just had it on my phone. Auto Vista, I think it's called. It's the equivalent of Soundscape, but it just seems to be a bit more user friendly. It works with the Apple Maps for those, and in conjunction with it. And I walked somewhere the other day, and it basically brought me right to where I was going. It does everything that Soundscape. It's just not called Soundscape. It's using the same technology. So
excellent. We'll add that one into the follow-up email. But if you've got any more information regarding that app, please send it my way, Scott. That'd be much appreciated. I'm going to wind. Brilliant. I'm going to wind down now. I've just got a few things to say from Retina UK. So thank you very, very much for everyone for joining us. It's very, very much appreciated. You sharing your advice and problem solving ideas for our community. It's much appreciated. If you are keen to join us for the next one, it's going to be on 14th of March, which I do believe is a Thursday. And please do, to help us continue with running this particular Talking Tech peer support group. I am looking to be launching more talking groups in this series, with the next one in February around talking travel, and we will be covering a wide range of travel topics, from mobility to VI holidays. So if anybody's got any advice or they would like to share anything, please do join us for that one. More information will be available on our website and on our e-newsletter. So if you haven't signed up to that, then please do, and help us maintain and improve our services. Anybody can make a donation on our website, then that would be very, very much appreciated. We are not government funded. We do not get any grants from the National Lottery. Our services and support provisions and research is purely funded by our community and supporters. So anything you can do to support us is very, very much appreciated. We do have a webinar on Thursday, and it's all around clinical trials and taking part in clinical trials. If anyone has taken part in a clinical trial and would like to learn more or share their experiences, then please do join us for that one. More details are available on our events page on our website, www.uk.org.uk. If anyone has any feedback that they would like to share, please respond to the invitation email, or you can drop an email to info@retinauk.org.uk. You can call our office on 01280 821 334 to a member of the team, or you can call a helpline, which is 0300 111 4000. And I will leave you a sneak peek of next March is Talking Tech. I didn't mention anything about smartphone cameras and video technology, because I would like to know how people use their cameras, take their perfect photographs and video. So I will be speaking more about the S24's camera and filming capabilities, but I would like to know, we've got these power hungry phones that have got amazing cameras on them, and it seems a shame that as we cannot see what we're taking photographs of, it's a waste. But I would love to know, if people take photographs, how you take photographs, what apps you use, and how in depth you're into your filmmaking and your photography. So the next meeting on the 14th of March will be all around filming and photography and taking photographs. So please come and join us that one. Once again, thank you everybody for joining us this evening and for listening. If you're able to join us, please do check out other activities and events happening on our website in due course. And from myself and from Caroline, thank you very, very much for joining us for our first Talking Tech peer group of 2024. I do hope you have a fantastic year, and we look forward to you for the next one and tech peer groups here. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you all soon.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Mark,
everyone.
Yeah, Carolyn, Mark, I'll send it to you. It's voice Vista, and I'll send the accessibility number along.
You're a superstar, Scott. Thank you very, very much for your support, all of you. Yeah. Much appreciated.
Okay.
Thank you. Care.
Good night.
Take care. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We hope you've enjoyed this Retina UK peer group recording. If you have any questions or queries regarding its content, or you would like to leave us some feedback, then please do get in touch. You can contact us via our helpline on 0300 111 4000, call the office team on 01280 821 334, or alternatively, you can contact us via email at services@retinauk.org.uk. If you are interested in creating your own peer support group and assisting Retina UK to grow our peer support group network and join our amazing team of volunteers, then please do get in touch by contacting us at info@retinauk.org.uk and speak to a member of staff to see how you can get involved. Thanks again for listening, and please stay tuned for more peer support group recordings coming throughout this year. Take care and all the best. Bye for now.